Hello folks, and welcome to the YouTube channel It's All About Racing. Today we're going to take a look at a 118 Auto Art scale C7R Corvette. One of the things that I don't particularly like about 118 scale cars are, one, they're absolutely huge. They're expensive. This car was about 150 bucks and I got that pretty cheap. Actually, about $200. And they come in very cheesy boxes, as this Auto Art did, which means you have to buy a plastic jewel case, another 30 bucks. As you can see, the box is huge, it's massive, it's relatively flimsy, and as I mentioned, it doesn't come with a nice jewel case like the 143 scale cars do. So let's just toss that aside and forget about it and take a look at this particular car. Now, to say that I like the C7R would be an understatement. I personally own a Corvette C7R myself. Mine is an all-black car with black wheels like you see on this particular car, as well as a black interior. This particular C7R was the one that won the Lime Rock Park race back in 2016. It was Corvette's 100th win, and that was the reason that Auto Art came out with this specific car to celebrate that win. Unlike 148 cars, this 118 car does come with moving parts. The doors open, which I'll show you in just a moment, and it rolls. Something that I, as a collector, don't particularly like because it's very, very hard to keep this thing from rolling on and off the base, particularly if you're moving it around. The wheels also turn, as does the steering wheel. Cool, but as a collector, not something that I particularly like. Details on this are absolutely exceptional, as you would expect on an Auto Art car. I mean, one nice thing about 118 scale cars is it really brings details to life. I prefer 143s because they come very close to it without the bulky size and the expense. But nevertheless, take a close look at these wheels, and they're just absolutely beautiful. You can see the BBR wheel, the center wheel lock. It's got this slotted brake rotor, as well as the brake calipers and Michelin tires. The side vents are gorgeous with the American patriotic livery, the number 4 car, competing in both the Tudor Le Mans Series and the Patron. And of course, this being a front-engine car, the exhaust comes out the side, as you clearly see here. Huge rocker panels on it. You see your fuel intake there. Again, the rear wheel. Take another look at it. Just absolutely beautiful. Now let me open the door and we'll take a look inside. These cars come with a handy key that you see right there. That's what you use to pop the door open. And as you can see, as I move around this thing, the door is, not spectacular, but it's as you would expect. It really does have a strap in there, which is not on this particular vehicle. The Corvette box that you see there is actually made of kevlar, and that was designed specifically by Corvette to protect its drivers, since Jan Magnussen was injured while slamming into a Porsche 911 RSR in VIR, and consequently they came up with this box, and it has been protecting Corvette drivers ever since. You can see the beautiful details of the steering wheel there. It's just absolutely gorgeous, all the push buttons. You can see a representation of what the screen would look like when you're racing the car. The paddle shifters. Try to get a little different view here of the Recaro seat that you have in there, as well as the seat belts. But anyhow, absolutely gorgeous interior, and it's one of the things that I do like about 118 cars. Because this car does roll around, I had to actually move the car off camera to give you the front shot of this. And as you can see, absolutely beautiful representation, the huge and massive front spoiler. Note that the fender flares on this car are actually the widest of any Corvette, even the C8 Corvette today. And I think gives a particularly aggressive look, particularly with those Ferrari-like headlights. What you see above the Corvette logo are a little area which measures wind speed and velocity for the engineers when they're racing the car. Oh, nice Mobil 1 logo. Absolutely gorgeous front end with the black accents there. You can see the interior again of the car with the windshield wiper and the Sirius XM logos. Now we'll take a look at the side of the car. And again, I'll pause this and turn it around. There's a view of the passenger side of the car. Again, much like the driver's side. All the details, replicated here. The huge rocker panels, the big wheels, the fender flares, The red mirrors, which are kind of futuristic looking, you see the leader lights on there. I'll open the door here in just 1 second. Notice they also have the fuel intake on this side as well. This being a front engine car, the gas tank is in the rear of it, and it's easily accessible regardless of pit row configuration. And there's a look at the inside of the car from the passenger side door. You can see a lot of the framework, the fire extinguisher, some of the electronics in there, and give you a little closer look there. You can also see the dash a little bit better from this particular side, and it really does kind of replicate what a dashboard looks like in a real Corvette, because I own one. But again, it ain't. This is a purpose-built race car. It's made to look like the current Corvette, but it's not really. And here's a look at the rear. One of the things that you'll notice here, this is a GT Le Mans entry. These were factory Corvette cars that were built to race against Porsches, Aston Martins, Ferraris, and the likes. And consequently, in this particular series, because this was a factory entry, it has this absolutely massive rear diffuser. You've seen big ones on Ferraris. Well, it's got a huge one on this Corvette, and it really is. It's quite massive. The rear wing almost looks like it belongs on a 747. It is so high and wide. You know, the lights are really well done in this particular model, as well as the tow hook, which you can see there behind the number 4. Kind of bring it around a side view to give you a different look at the rear diffuser here. You can see the carbon fiber accents on it. This thing is massively huge. It drags almost all the way to the ground. It is so big and so badass, and I hope I haven't violated any YouTube policies by saying that. But anyhow, a really cool looking car. The rear, I mean, it just, you take a look at it from this angle, and it's angry, and I love this car. I do like the C8, you know, don't get me wrong. You see, I've got posters of the C8 there signed and everything else. That one from VIR. But I do particularly like the looks of this car. If I stand up here, which I have to with this big car, and whoops, get around here, get my finger off the camera. There you can see what it looks like from a top view. Absolutely gorgeous car, beautifully done. In this, you know, the typical Corvette yellow and black livery. This particular car was manned by Oliver Gavin and Tommy Milner. Like I said, this won at Lime Rock Park in 2016 and was the 100th win for Corvette in their racing history, which made this kind of special. I hope you have enjoyed this video. If you have, give me a thumbs up, like, and subscribe.